4 people walked into a mosque to pray. They never walked out. Let that sit with you for a moment, because that is not a headline from a war zone. That is Kebbi State, Nigeria, today, Thursday, the 26th of February, 2026. And what is unfolding in the northwest of this country right now is something every single Nigerian needs to understand, whether you live in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, or anywhere in between. Suspected Lakurawa terrorists stormed a mosque in a Kebbi community, opened fire on worshippers, killed 4 people, and left several others injured. 4 souls who had come to bow before God, who had left their homes that morning with nothing but peace on their minds. They never came back. And the people who did this did not hesitate, did not hide, did not feel any shame. They walked into a sacred space and pulled the trigger. That level of boldness tells you something very important about how confident this group has become, and that should concern all of us deeply. So who exactly are the Lakurawa? Because understanding them is the only way to understand what Nigeria is truly up against. They first appeared around 2016 and 2017 in the northwest, wearing the mask of protectors. Communities in Sokoto and Kebbi were being terrorized by bandits, and the Lakurawa showed up saying they were there to help. People welcomed them, offered them food and shelter, trusted them. But that trust was a trap. Within a few years, the Lakurawa had turned into something far worse than the criminals they replaced. They began enforcing their own extreme laws, extorting farmers, executing anyone who questioned them, and spreading their ideology from village to village. By November 2024, the Nigerian government had seen enough and officially designated them a terrorist organization linked to the Islamic State Sahel province, the same global network that has been tearing through Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. By that point, they had already embedded themselves across roughly 500 communities. The roots were already in. Now, here is where the story gets even heavier. What happened in that mosque today did not come from nowhere. 6 days ago, on the 20th of February, Lakurawa terrorists launched coordinated attacks across 8 communities in Kebbi's Arewa local government area in a single afternoon. 35 people were killed, 16 in Mamunu alone, 5 in Awashaka, 3 in Masama. Police spokesperson Bashir Usman confirmed the attackers arrived at around 1:15 in the afternoon, rustled livestock, and shot at every person who dared to resist. One resident told AFP, and these words are important, "We were in our homes when we heard gunshots. People outside began running, but some were hit by bullets. Families packed what little they could carry and fled. Many have not returned." Security analysts called it one of the single deadliest days the region had seen in months, describing how the attackers moved between villages with terrifying organization and speed. Go back even further to the 4th of February and you find something even more chilling. Lakurawa terrorists attacked villages in Kwara State and killed 162 civilians. Reports from survivors described gunmen tying the hands of victims before shooting them at close range. Homes were set on fire. Those communities had been receiving threatening letters from the group demanding they submit to their extreme ideology. When the people refused, the terrorists came back with weapons and made an example of them. That is the level of cruelty we are talking about. And if you want the bigger picture, consider this. Nigeria lost 1,258 lives in violence in just the first 41 days of 2026 alone. 27 people every single day. The Northwest is carrying the heaviest weight of that number, and Kebbi State has become the center of it all. If this channel is helping you stay informed about the stories that the news cycle moves past too quickly, please take a second right now to like this video and hit that subscribe button. It is a small action that helps us reach more Nigerians with the stories that truly matter. The government has responded. Governor Nasir Idris' office described the Lakurawa as largely spillovers from Niger Republic and promised that security forces are closing in. In December 2025, the United States launched direct military strikes on Lakurawa camps in Sokoto State, showing just how far this threat has grown beyond any single country's borders. But 3 days ago, the Kebbi Development Forum said something that cut straight to the heart of the problem. In a statement by Chairman Saidu Ilo, the forum argued that reactive responses are not working. Troops arrive after the massacre, statements are released after the funerals, and then the terrorists strike again. What is needed, they argued, is a decentralized security structure that brings traditional rulers, local governments, and community leaders into active roles in protecting their own people, not just as spectators waiting for help that comes too late. The people of Kebbi did not choose this. They are farmers who wake before sunrise, market traders who count every naira, mothers who pack food for their children's school bags, worshippers who ask nothing from this world except the right to pray in peace. They are Nigerians, and they deserve better than to be buried in headlines that the rest of the country forgets by the next morning. To the families of the 4 worshippers who lost their lives today, and to everyone injured in this attack, this channel stands with you. You are not forgotten. And to everyone watching, here's the question we want to leave with you today. Given everything you have just heard, do you believe Nigeria's current security response is truly equipped to stop a group like Lakurawa? Or does something far more fundamental need to change in how this country protects its most vulnerable communities? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Be honest, be detailed, because the conversations that happen right here in this section matter more than you know.